You know what we do.
We have a cookie-themed episode today.
It's a good one.
It's got me thinking about edibles in general,
Yep.
drugs in general, so I thought I'd throw this question at you to get things started.
Good.
What are your top 3 favourite drug sequences in movies?
Okay. Straight off the bat, it has to be first, is human traffic.
Oh, yeah, awesome.
When they're talking shit in the kitchen and they're talking about Star Wars.
Yeah.
And he's like, Moff has the Star Wars epiphany. He's like...
The Emperor wants to control outer space. Yoda wants to explore inner space. That's the fundamental difference between the good and the bad sides of the Force.
It's very good.
I love it.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
Jumped over 3 linebackers in midair, sprouted antlers like a gazelle.
No one laughs at a master of quack fool.
Real nice. Many have died from starvation due to the difficulty of finding enough food, such as seals.
Shut up. No more Mr. Nice Duck. That's it. Right, Mr. Sitz?
What do you make of that? You know, it's the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
The Brown Carpet Podcast.
Welcome back to the Brown Carpet Podcast. You all right?
Yeah, no, I smell something. It's not a fart. It smells like someone's baking cookies or something.
Oh, I get it. You're smelling the episode that we did from a couple of years ago.
That's right.
We did an episode about 2 years ago called Baking Brad.
That's
about
right.
A young girl who baked her grandfather's ashes into a bunch of Girl Scout cookies and then took them to school.
Oh, what a day at school.
It was a wild day at school and a good story, as I remember.
Is that going to be the From the Vault this week?
That's this week's From the Vault.
Well, enjoy. Munch on this.
The headline for this week's weird news story is Teen Bakes Grandfather's Ashes into Cookies, hands them out at school.
Yeah, right.
I'll take you deep. Cookies containing a special ingredient have been handed out at a Californian high school. Of course it's in California. The student is said to have given the baked goods to at least 9 students in Davis, near the state capital, Sacramento. Some ate the cookies without knowing about the macabre extra ingredient and were horrified. In a bizarre twist, others among the Da Vinci Charter Academy students were fully aware and ate the cookies anyway.
What's the name of that school?
The Da Vinci Charter Academy.
Wow.
Yeah.
Private school?
I don't know. It sounds very arty. Maybe
Sounds
it's like
arty.
an art school or something.
Maybe it's like a Montessori school.
Could be. Student Andy Knox said he was on his way into class when the unidentified young baker offered him one of her treats, saying they contained a special ingredient. I thought she put drugs in it or something. So I asked her, "Is this a weed cookie or something?" And she said no. She said it was her grandpa's ashes. And then she kind of laughed. And I was kind of horrified. Police are investigating the incident, but have not made any arrests or taken any action against the girl.
Yeah, I mean, instantly you'd be thinking weed.
If she said special ingredient, I would assume weed.
Winks, special ingredient.
Special ingredient. And that's a pretty bold move, taking edibles to school.
Is that like cannibalism? Is that what can she get charged for, like trick cannibalism? Or I mean, that's not the technical term, but
It's like desecration of a corpse or something?
yeah, something. It has to be something with interfering with the remains.
Is that unhealthy to eat ashes?
I don't think it'd be worse than what other people put up their nose pretty regularly.
I mean, I guess it's just like eating burnt toast.
Yeah,
There's a bit of ash
snorting
on that.
burnt toast. It'd be
Why are you
carcinogenic.
snorting it? It's not snorting. They ate it.
Spread it, eat it, snort it.
Corey likes to snort his cookies. So what are we going to do with that?
Oh, okay.
I mean, okay, so what's the question we usually start with is whose story is it? Is it, I mean, the obvious one is the little girl who baked the cookies. Is it the grandfather's story? Is it the kids at school? Maybe a teacher or...
I say we go in on the little girl, and that doesn't sound good as saying that in one sentence.
No.
But
If you could just take that little grab and make a techno song about Corey's pedophilia, that'd be great.
yeah, I think it's the little girl is the protagonist.
What's her name? Ashley?
Yes,
Sure.
young Ashley. She is a girl. She's at school.
Can we not cast
She's
Millie Bobby Brown for this? Because we cast her
Another
as-
Stranger Things.
Yeah.
Okay. We won't.
How about the little girl from Logan, the Wolverine film?
Yeah,
The
that's a
little,
good one.
Little Spanish.
Yeah,
She's
I like
cool.
it. Yeah. Okay, Ashley. Let's say that she's a loner. She's a loner, and she's getting picked on at school
Bit of an outcast.
from all angles. She's an outcast.
Well, where do we start? Do we start with her copping shit at school, or do we start before the granddad's dead? Maybe we see this relationship. Maybe he's her only mate.
Yeah. Let's dig into her backstory.
Yeah.
Let's dig into the life of Ashley.
She's a bit of an outcast at school.
Yeah.
But-
She lives. Her grandfather is her only next of kin. That's it. That's all she's got in the world. So
Yeah.
they're very close.
Okay. Right. She's
Yeah.
raised by her granddad.
Yeah. So they do everything together. She helps him garden. She does all the chores because he's old.
Maybe they bake together. Maybe it's one of the things that they like to do.
Hey,
Bit of baking.
I like it.
Yeah. Get some pastries. Coming together.
What's Granddad like?
Is he old school? Is he cool? I imagine him as a bit of a grizzled one. Like maybe he's got a heart of gold, but
Yeah.
maybe he's been through some shit.
Yeah,
Maybe he's a vet.
he's a vet. He went to Korea.
Okay, he's seen some shit.
Maybe it was Vietnam because you've got to keep bumping them up because they're all dropping off. Veterans.
Yeah.
So he's a Vietnam vet.
Okay,
Seen
Vietnam
some
vet.
legit seen some shit.
He's been in the shit.
He's been in the shit.
Yeah,
Decorated.
yeah.
Yeah.
But as an old person, he's still got that faint smell of like urine and tobacco about him.
just a musky air of
Yeah,
yeah.
old man fumes.
And he's casually racist.
Of course.
Yeah.
He's an older dude.
He's an older dude.
He's been in the war.
Yeah.
So obviously, I reckon he'd say a lot of shit that's like,
I'd like for it to not be actually not an old person, but like Nick Kroll as an old like Gil Faison from
yeah.
Oh Hello.
I think he'd do casual racism quite well. Not mean racism. Just it's the era he grew up in.
Yeah.
It's all he knows. It's the air he breathes.
Oh, Grandpa.
The
He's,
musky air he breathes.
yeah. Don't get him started on that.
Not in public.
So does he have a name? Does grandfather have a name? Do we name him?
Bradley Cecil Shuttlesworth.
Okay, Bradley Cecil Shuttlesworth.
Yeah.
How many grandfathers are called Bradley? I don't know one. But anyway, no, we'll stick with it.
It's an old man name.
Yeah.
Bradley. Does he have a monocle?
Yeah, he's got a monocle. Yes. He's got a monocle and an eye patch. Monocle in one eye and eye patch in the other.
Yeah. And under the monocle is a glass eye. So he's actually blind, but he just likes to give the impression of he's...
And under the patch is a normal functioning eye. He just doesn't want to look out of it.
Yeah, no, he's sick of seeing the world. He's seen too much.
So he's essentially blind.
He's blind. He doesn't have to be, but he chooses blindness. He chooses blindness over seeing this shit out.
Oh, that's really good. Okay, so blind grandpa Bradley Cecil Shuttlesworth
Yes.
is everything to our Ashley, our young girl.
Yeah.
You know, while her home life is bliss, school life isn't.
No.
She's getting tormented by the school jock,
The hot girl, mean hot girl,
the cheerleader hot girl,
for sure.
a cool nerd that's like a smart ass, kind of like, not smart ass, like, you know, like maybe like rich kid.
Yeah.
He's a rich kid.
Yeah. Rich kid.
And then
Way overconfident.
and then there's like a kid that secretly likes her but pranks her.
Yeah. Okay.
You know what I mean?
That
so he's
boy.
kind of mean to her.
Yeah. He's mean to her
Because
all
he knows
the
he
time.
can't be with her because she's doesn't like him.
They're how old? They're like 13, 12,
Yeah,
13?
I think they're just like
I mean, that's what you do.
just
to
the
girls
start
that
of
you
high
like.
school. Yeah.
When you're 12, 13 and you like a girl, you pull her pigtails and you give her a wedgie and stuff.
Do you?
'Cause that's what I do.
Yeah. So that we've set the scene. That's her life.
That's the stew she's marinating in.
Does she-
Because she spends so much time with the old guy, that's why she's a bit of a weird one at school. Because it's
Yeah.
all she knows. Like, she doesn't have a proper functioning parental unit. She's just got
She's
this
in,
one...
she's in the AV club. She does photography. She's
Yeah.
arty.
Yeah.
She's a bit gothy.
likes a bit of Panic at the Disco.
My Chemical Romance.
Yeah.
Okay. Does she have anyone at school that like? Does she have an ally at school? She'd have to have. Does she have someone she looks up to?
Maybe like a teacher.
Teacher's good.
Yeah, like a father figure type teacher.
Okay. Maybe like an English teacher that she's.
Bit of a Dead Poet Society vibe. Like he
Yeah.
recognises she doesn't have a proper father figure because she's got this grandfather figure. So maybe he's kind of like playing that sort of role in her life.
Yeah. How do we get it to the point where thinks she needs to bake her grandfather's ashes and give them to these people she doesn't like at school? How do we get to that point?
Okay,
'Cause
so
that's where we need to get.
all right, so we get a bit of a sequence of her life. We see the blissful home life, we see the troubled school life, and then she has like the worst day of all time.
Right.
She's copping it in PE, she's copping it in maths class, she cops it on the way home from school, she's getting shit from
It's
all
like
angles.
all those people fuck her day up.
Yep.
Yeah.
And then when she gets home, worst of the worst, granddad's dead.
She finds her grandfather
She finds
dead.
his dead body, yeah.
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 That's dark.
Yeah, okay, it's dark. But like it's just a smash cut funeral.
Full military funeral.
Yeah.
They got the
That's
guns,
right.
the guns, 21 gun salute.
All the old
Heavily
old mate
decorated.
soldiers
dropping
there.
flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she's at her lowest ebb.
Yeah.
This is rock bottom for her.
Yeah.
So that night, I don't know, maybe she's, starts doing a little bit of baking, but she can't even finish. She's just, the tears are going in the flour, and she passes out just like exhausted from the sadness. And in a dream...
Oh, so she works herself up to an exhaustion baking.
Yeah.
And then blacks out.
Yeah, falls asleep in the flour.
Who comes to visit in the dream?
There he is, Grandpa Bradley.
Yeah. Bradley.
Comes floating into the room.
Bradley Cecil Shuttlesworth.
Yeah. Maybe he gives her the idea. Maybe like...
All right, so he's like...
Use an old man's voice.
Put me in the cookies. He's got that old person...
With a little...
Put me in the cookies, Ashley.
Yeah.
They'll see. Oh, they'll see. Maybe it's something like there's a formula, like he says, if you bake me into a certain amount of cookies, I'll be reincarnated. So it's not a revenge thing. So it's about her wanting her grandfather back.
To bring him back in a way.
Yeah.
So maybe she thinks to herself, the only confidant, the only mentor, the only person that's really shown me any affection or love is this teacher. Maybe she's thinking she's going to bake cookies for him and in some way bring her grandfather's spirit, some of his characteristics,
right,
through that teacher to make that bond as special as it was with her grandfather.
So she wakes up excited.
Yep.
Bakes the cookies, gets the ashes.
Yep.
Bakes these cookies.
Makes a nice chocolate chip blend and then preps them for, what's his name? Mr. Who's her teacher's name?
So she's aiming up. Sorry, you're saying she's aiming up.
She's baking them just for him.
So she wants her grandfather to come out in him.
Yeah.
Because he's his
they're
only
already
friend.
Close.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, and if her grandfather's characteristics can come through in this guy, it's like having him
that's
there
lovely.
Again. Yeah,
that's lovely. Okay, so...
But perhaps the plan goes awry.
Of course it does.
Of course it does.
So she's on her way. She's happy. It would be funny her going into school the next day, the day after her grandfather's died. Yep. But she's happy.
Yeah, because
everyone's like, "What the fuck is wrong with her? She lost her grandfather, and why has she got cookies?"
Like an emo girl. She's always weird.
And she's on her way to the English teacher's office.
Yep.
And
when all of a sudden,
here comes Jock. Here comes
the jock kid.
The jock kid.
Yep.
And he's like, "What are you doing with those cookies?"
Nice one, Ashley. Cook some cookies, did ya? Snatches one.
Snatches
a whole lot of them.
Snatches all of them.
Just dishes them out.
And runs off with them.
He takes them and hands them out.
And he hands them out to
everyone that shits her. So like the hot girl gets one.
Yes.
The witty kid gets one.
The rich kid.
The mean kid that likes her.
The mean kid likes her, sorry. Yeah,
they all get one each.
Yeah.
They all end up with a piece of her grandfather's like spirit or soul or whatever.
Yeah.
So, but how does that show up?
All right, so...
How does it show out?
Okay. The grandfather, we split up his traits into these kids. So...
I reckon when they come out in the kids, they're the worst things for little kids to have.
Yeah.
Like incontinence.
Yeah, so the pranky kid would get that, right?
Yeah. Suddenly his bladder is useless.
The jockey kid might get the PTSD of the...
Oh, yeah.
He's a war veteran.
He's getting
so he's like
flashbacks.
in class, he's like, just screams. Wakes up in sweats.
Yeah. The rich kid can have like the or maybe the hot girl, she can have like the casual racism.
Right.
Which is fine when it's an old person.
Yeah.
But when a 13-year-old
girl
is suddenly like
banging on about the Japanese.
Yeah, taking our jobs.
The Viet Cong, Charlie in the trees.
Yeah. Then it's really weird and unfortunate for everyone.
So
and what about the boy that likes her? What does he get?
Arthritis.
Brittle bones. Chalky deposits in his joints.
Oh, that's great.
Okay. These kids have now got basically the dysfunctional characteristics of her grandfather because when they're all separated like that, like in one old man, that all makes sense and functions.
It's fine.
But when you separate them out and put them into 13-year-olds...
I think it's one of those things where if it's in one person, that's not a negative effect, it's more of a positive. But as soon as you split it up,
yes,
that's when it turns negative.
There's no yin to the yang.
No.
They're just...
Do they start noticing stuff at school? And she's like, I've got to tell someone.
The jock kid's pissing himself in the middle of gym class.
No, he's got the PTSD, the jock.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Probably pissing himself from it.
He's just sitting in the showers. He can't even make it to gym class.
So they're all in a hot mess.
Yeah.
And she goes, look, I've got to fess up. what I've done.
To the English teacher. And maybe because she notices the PTSD or something a bit more obvious.
Yeah.
But maybe the English teacher has seen one of the other things. Maybe he's noticed the casual racism coming out.
Yeah.
It's like, what's going on with Gloria?
Oh, that explains.
Yeah, she's like been saying some horrendous stuff recently.
Yeah.
So maybe together they put it together that the characteristics have been spread amongst all these kids that had the cookies.
And that one kid's always late to class because he's so sore his bones.
He's hobbling down the thing. He's got a walking frame now. So how do you make this good again? Like,
Make Grandpa great again.
maybe it's like a breakfast club
Okay.
situation. They recognise that Grandpa's characteristics have been subdivided across all these weird kids.
Teacher organises an after school.
These kids don't hang out together, so
No.
maybe he arbitrarily gives them all detention.
Yeah.
Like just slaps a detention on him. He gets one for being late because he can't make it to class in time. PTSD boy gets one for not making it to gym class. The
Yeah.
racism, that's an easy one.
Yeah.
They all get detention and they all end up in a room together.
Yeah.
And when they're brought back together, they kind of their individual problems are offset. They kind of like
Together they are strong.
Together they are
Individually
strong.
they're weak. Together they are strong. It's like some sort of unspoken thing that they'll like ahead of time. They'll be like, "Oh shit, Gloria's going to say something racist," and Gloria don't, and they stop each other.
Yeah.
But how do you help someone not piss their pants?
A nice man diaper or
Oh, so you don't forget to bring your diaper.
bring the depends along.
So they're connected like twins.
Yeah.
Like twins are,
like
identical twins are connected.
Yep.
They have that unspoken bond.
Unspoken communication between
Okay.
them. And when they're together,
Unspoken grandpa bond.
there's
Dead
like this
grandpa bond.
strength. There's this strength of the unit.
Yeah.
They come in as separate individuals and they realise that there's this strength, there's this sameness between them all.
Right.
And they become, best friends. They become bonded. And in the end, that's really all she needed. Like, she didn't need another grandpa
This is
because
beautiful.
that's going to make her another
This is beautiful.
weird in another way. Now she realises
And the kids needed to realise that they were shit.
they were shit.
They learnt a pretty bad lesson.
Yeah. Brittle bones is not a good way to go. Not when you're 13. But, friendship's where it's at. Friendships.
That's how it ends.
Is it?
Is it a happy ending? I
It's
feel like
it was pretty morbid to start with.
yeah.
So maybe it's good to go out and up this time.
I think so.
I mean, we usually end with a massacre or
Someone shot someone up.
someone watching Santa Claus being beaten to death with a brick on
Oh,
the...
come on. You never let me live that down. It kind of sucks that they're going to have arthritis for life. I mean, the PTSD can take some meds.
He's got medication for life. Those flashbacks aren't going away.
You can change someone from being racist. I've seen enough reality shows
Can you
about
though?
it. No,
Can you change an old racist person? They are what they are, mate.
it's true. Can't teach an old dog new tricks.
No. But if they're together,
I think the arthritis kid's
he's got the worst deal.
just ups his calcium. I don't know. How does he
He
cope?
drinks a lot of milk. It's a lot of...
Old brittle bones McGee.
But he ends up being a great writer as a result, Something good comes out of it.
Okay, maybe that's what happens. After,
PTSD kid gets like a companion ferret or something that makes him feel better.
a peacock or travels on planes with it. How about the fact that they come together? Then the positive effects start outweighing the negative. So like you said, the brittle bones kid decides maybe he was into lacrosse, I don't know, and now he becomes a writer.
Yeah, he's a painter or something.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. We flip the seemingly negatives into positives.
The guy who can't stop pissing becomes a really successful plumber. I don't know.
Maybe he starts a water sports website.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He becomes a golden shower pimp or something.
The king of golden showers.
Yeah. Joins the Trump administration or something.
We need a title for this.
Ash cookies.
Ash cookies is good.
It's not great though.
They did it all for the cookie.
That's going to be a soundtrack. We're going to rework.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to rework.
We get Limp Bizkit on the soundtrack.
I did it all for the cookie. Come on, the cookie.
If we put the title aside and we work on the tagline, what have we got for a tagline?
The cookies won't get you high, but the ingredients are heavenly.
Oh yeah, I see where you're going with
That's
that.
not great.
I mean, it's not funny, but it's good.
I thought it was pretty good.
Ash rules everything around me.
It's Wu-Tangy.
Dead Bakers Society. I don't know.
It's not bad. Chocolate chip off the old block.
She's a chocolate chip off the old block.
She's a chocolate chip off the old block. And title,
How about Baking Brad?
because his name's Bradley.
Yeah, Bradley. Baking Brad.
Grandpa called Brad. It's unheard of, but it's good.
Baking Brad. She's a chocolate chip off the old block.
Bradley being a grandfather. We
Nick
didn't
Kroll?
cast the teacher, right?
No. We need someone a little bit mature,
Strong male role model.
strong, like an Eric Bana type.
Eric Banner's good.
Eric Bana?
And we haven't cast those other kids. I don't know any kids.
I don't know any. I mean, we can't put the Stranger Things kids in it again.
No.
What about the kids from It?
Okay.
I don't know any of their names.
Just all those kids?
But they were good, and some of them were Stranger Things kids. But
Yeah.
see, we're not the only ones having this problem. There are actual movie producers who are like, I don't know. We got the Stranger
I'm
Things.
happy that I'm a 35-year-old man and don't know the names of young
It would be worse.
preteen
It
actors.
would be much worse
and
if you had a
actresses.
list. What about
I like this one.
for the sexy one? We should get this one.
Oh, we've said too much.
That's awful.
So that's how you actually have sex?
Yeah, as long as the oil doesn't run out, you can keep going.
Oh, okay.
We should talk about it offline.
Oh, okay. Yep. Right. From the vault. That was another one done and dusted. It was really fun.
Fun episode. Next week, we have a brand new episode for you that is honeybee related.
Yeah. Honeybee related?
Honeybees, superheroes.
Yeah.
It's pretty dark. It's a weird and wild one.
Yeah, there's some cops.
It's a hell of a roller coaster.
It is.
Well worth tuning in for next Tuesday.
So don't forget to flush.
See you, cunts.
I have come here to chew bubblegum and kick ass.
He jumped over 3 linebackers in midair, sprouted inwards like a gazelle.
No one laughs at a master of quack fu.
Real nice. Many have died from starvation due to the difficulty of finding enough food, such as seals.
Shut up. No more Mr. Nice Duck. That's it. Right, Mr. Sitz?
What do you make of that? You know, it's the most fantastic story I've ever heard.
The Brown Carpet Podcast.
We're rolling. The arsonist had oddly shaped feet.
The Human Torch was denied a bank loan. Oh, it's just
Can you see
saying.
this? Can you take the fucking keys off, mate? It's an audio issue.
No, it's all right. I'm not moving around.
Okay, stand by.
Standing by.
Stand by. Fuck! You can find us on the
You can find us on the iTunes.
Fuck! So close.
So close.
Fuck! If you've got a weird story...
Fuck me, mate. Fuck me.
If you've... Fuck your writing. It's just horrible.
How is my writing horrible? You can't speak. God damn it. What's wrong with you, man?
Anyway,
That's disheartening.
it is.
Did it taste weird? Did it have that little bit of a marijuana taste to it?
No, it's delicious.